Hey everyone, welcome to my new channel. If you're interested in history, especially impactful figures and moments that changed the world, please support my channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Let's dive into today's topic. Adolf Hitler, one of the most infamous figures in history. Adolf Hitler, born on April 20, 1889, in Austria-Hungary, is one of the most infamous figures in history. His early life was marked by challenges, including the death of his father and a failed attempt to become an artist. After moving to Vienna and experiencing poverty, Hitler developed a deep sense of resentment toward the Jews and others, which later shaped his extreme nationalist views. Following World War I, which left Germany devastated and humiliated by the Treaty of Versailles, Hitler saw an opportunity to capitalize on the widespread frustration and anger among the German people. He joined the German Workers' Party, which eventually became the Nazi Party, and began spreading his ideas of German nationalism, racial purity, and anti-Semitism. In the early 1930s, Germany was struggling economically, with mass unemployment and social unrest caused by the Great Depression. Hitler's promises to restore Germany's pride, rebuild the economy, and remove foreign influences resonated with many people, especially those who felt abandoned by the Weimar Republic. His powerful speeches and ability to tap into the national anger led to his rise in popularity. In 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany, and within a year, he had consolidated power through a series of political moves that dismantled the democratic government. Hitler used the Reichstag fire as an excuse to pass the Reichstag fire decree, which suspended civil liberties and allowed for the arrest of political opponents, marking the beginning of his totalitarian rule. Once in power, Hitler wasted no time in implementing his vision of a racially pure Germany. He promoted a policy of anti-Semitism, blaming Jews for Germany's problems and creating laws that discriminated against them. In 1935, the Nuremberg Laws were passed, stripping Jews of their citizenship and legal rights. The persecution of Jews escalated, leading to the horrors of the Holocaust, where approximately 6 million Jews were systematically murdered, along with millions of others, including Roma people, disabled individuals, and political dissidents. This genocide remains one of the most tragic and horrifying events in history. Hitler's foreign policy was aggressive and expansionist. He aimed to create a vast German empire in Europe, starting with the annexation of Austria in 1938 and the invasion of Czechoslovakia the following year. In 1939, Hitler invaded Poland, triggering the start of World War II. His military strategy relied heavily on blitzkrieg, or lightning warfare, a rapid and overwhelming style of attack that quickly conquered much of Europe. By 1940, Germany had taken control of large parts of Western and Eastern Europe, and the Nazis implemented brutal occupation policies, enslaving and murdering millions of civilians in the process. The war reached its peak with the invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941. The German army initially advanced deep into Soviet territory, but the harsh winter and determined Soviet resistance eventually led to the downfall of Hitler's invasion. Meanwhile, the United States entered the war in 1941 following Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor, and the Allies began to turn the tide against Nazi Germany. By 1944, the Allies had launched a series of successful invasions, including the D-Day landings in Normandy, and began pushing German forces back on all fronts. As the Allies closed in on Germany, Hitler's health and mental state deteriorated. In 1945, with Berlin surrounded by Soviet forces, Hitler took his own life in his bunker on April 30, ending his dictatorship. Germany soon surrendered, and World War II officially ended in May 1945. The war caused the deaths of more than 60 million people, including millions of soldiers and civilians, and left much of Europe in ruins. The legacy of Hitler's actions is one of immense suffering, loss, and destruction. His regime not only led to the deaths of millions but also created a lasting impact on global politics, culture, and history. The Nuremberg trials, held after the war, convicted many of Hitler's top officials for crimes against humanity. Today, the world remembers Hitler's reign as a warning about the dangers of unchecked power, extreme nationalism, and hatred. His rise to power and the atrocities committed under his rule highlight the importance of preventing the spread of such ideologies and protecting human rights for all people. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support this channel. Your support means a lot, and it helps the channel grow. Stay tuned for more historical content.